Welcome back to the Awesome Physio YouTube channel. Today we are going to be doing a 5-minute lower body stretching routine for dancers as requested by you guys. So today the stretches are going to be targeting down into your quadriceps, into your lower back, into your glutes, piriformis, down into the calf as well as down into the feet. The reason why this is so important is of course you're using the whole body when you're dancing, but a huge amount of impact goes through that lower body, so it's so important after you've performed to stretch and release those muscles. So by doing a 5-minute routine makes it really quick, simple and easy to add it in after dancing. So the first part of the routine that I absolutely love is doing a 30-second stretch in child's pose. So the reason why this is so good after dancing is it starts to bring the heart rate down, it's very calming, and also it's really nice because you've just jumped around for God knows how long with your dancing, that it's really nice to just open up and stretch into that lower back. So go as far as you feel comfortable, but I imagine if you're doing quite high level dancing, you're going to be quite flexible. So I want to push the body back towards the legs, so we should feel it into that lower back. Next we're moving on to the piriformis stretch, to the pigeon stretch, and so this is really great to stretch across the glutes as well as obviously into the leg and obviously relaxing into that piriformis. There's two ways to do this. You can either stay upright with the body if that's enough of a stretch, or if you're feeling really flexible and you want a deeper stretch, you can let the body drop forward. What this does, it deepens the stretch around the glutes. You want to aim to keep the leg at 90 degrees and you want to stretch as far as you feel comfortable. So this is probably one that you're going to build up over time. And again, you'll probably find one side is a little bit more flexible than the other. So this is my worst side out of the two, so I always struggle to stretch on this side, but again, you want balance through both. So what you're doing again is bringing the leg across at 90 degrees, either keeping the body upright or dropping the body over the leg. So you have a choice, so you can determine how much of a deep stretch that you want into that piriformis. And again, you're aiming for 30 seconds each side, so you relax the pelvis and relax the lower back. The next part is looking at your hip flexor stretch. And this is so important if you're doing any exercise where you're lifting up through the leg or you're loading through the legs. It's really important to activate and stretch through that hip flexor. So what you're doing is with the front leg, you're lunging forward. You should feel it on the back leg with the stretch. And again, I decided to keep the body upright because I'm lunging quite deep into this. You can also side bend the body away from the side that you're stretching if you want to add a deeper stretch, but normally this is enough. And once you've done 30 seconds on one side, it's all about swapping. So again, the back leg is the one that you're stretching and you're lunging forward. So you can either hold on to something or let the arm relax down by your side, but you're stretching the body forward and you should feel it stretch into the front of that leg. So really, really important to release through both sides. That also helps with lower back tightness where the hip flexors blend and attach into your lumbar spine. So really important to add in this stretch. Once you've done this, the next stretch, which is just as important, is down into the hamstrings. So you can either do this standing or you're leaning down towards the feet. I quite like it when you're calming down out after exercise to kind of do it in a very gentle, relaxed position. So doing it where you're seated or lying down, it can be really good. And so what you're doing is with the legs out straight, you're leaning the body forward. So you're aiming to stretch around the back of the legs. So you're leaning the body forward towards the feet, again holding for about 30 seconds. What you then want to look at is stretching into your calf muscles. And again, if we're doing a lot of bounce and a lot of movement into that lower body, the poor calf muscles take a lot of the strain, so it's really important. So again, you can either do this where you're standing and you lift the foot up and you lean into it, or like I said, you can do it in a relaxed position where you're holding around the foot and then pulling it up towards you. So again, this is a really great way to stretch into the toes and into the feet where you're hooking around the toes. So you want to aim to do 30 seconds on one side, feeling that lovely deep stretch around the back of the foot, and then swapping sides. So again, you can hold over the toes. You see as I'm stretching the foot up, I'm lifting the foot up, it's stretching into the calf, it's going down into the Achilles, but also if you pull even more on the toes, you're going to stretch down into that plantar fascia, so that kind of tightness underneath the foot that we can get from a lot of jumping. And again, all of this just brings the heart rate down. The final stretches that I wanted to look at would be stretching into the quadriceps. I've purposely done it a little bit different. So instead of standing and bringing your heel towards your bum to stretch through, I've done it in a lunge position because this actually gets the deeper attachments up into your rectus femoris, so one of the quadriceps that attaches up into the hip. So what you're doing is you're lunging forward, you're letting the body drop forward, keeping your body upright, holding over the foot and then pulling the heel towards your bum. If this is too much, just do it standing where you're pulling it, that normal quadricep stretch. But I think it's nice, particularly if you're quite flexible as well, or you're feeling like the normal stretch isn't deep enough, to go into this lunge position. So you see we're lunging forward, we're holding around the foot and then pulling it up towards the bum. And again, it is quite an intense, deep stretch into the quadriceps. So with all of these, it's quality, not quantity initially, and then trying to add it in every time you do dance afterwards to release that lower body.